Hello everyone, welcome back to the Human Reviews channel, and today we are listening to Laughingstock by Talk Talk. The reason I'm listening to this album is because Brad Tasted Music recently listened to this album and gave it a 10 out of 10. And one of my musical missions is to listen to every single Brad Tasted Music and Fantano 10 out of 10 to be able to someday do a ranking video for all of them. So, I heard a little bit of this album on his stream, and the little bit that I heard sounded absolutely amazing. It was like, oh my god, this is the best shit ever. I'm going to turn the stream off now and save this for when I listen to the album. And here we are today. This album came out in 1991. It is 6 songs, 42 minutes. There's some long songs on this album, like 6 minutes, 9.5 minutes, 7 minutes, almost 10 minutes on one of the songs. Most of the songs on here are decently long, but I don't mind because it's post-rock and the songs sort of need to be super long, you know what I'm saying? I know basically nothing about this album outside the little bit that I've heard. I've heard no other songs from this. I don't even know if I've been sent in any Talk Talk songs. No, I've been sent in one Talk Talk song on stream. I've been sent in the song Time It's Time. But outside of that, I'm going into this thing basically completely blind. This is going to be an entirely fresh reaction, which I'm very excited about. Also, as always, these reactions are recorded live on stream with the chat over here. So if you ever see that I'm live recording one of these, make sure you come over, say hi, give your thoughts on the album, and your chats can be included in the video, just like all of these good people here. And with that being said, I am just going to get straight into this. Track 1, Myrrhman? Myrrhman? I'm probably saying that wrong. Okay. All of you are paid to be here, yeah?
Place my chair at the back room door. Blessed love, the love I've seen.
Ooh. Apparently so. Also known as Jock, of course, yes. This is starting off a lot less immediate than I was expecting. From the little clip I heard, this album seemed to be like... I thought this album was going to be way more fast-paced than this, but no, this is starting off very, very slow. And I like that. This is an incredible way to start. This is amazing. Ooh. Nice transition. Yeah. That is a lot different to what I expected that to be. Based on the little clip I heard, I expected a more immediate opener, and I'm kind of glad it wasn't. I'm liking the slower, way more jazzy approach that they've taken to this. Like, I know that it said jazz rock as one of the genres on Album of the Year, but I expected it to be leaning more into the post-rock than the jazz rock, but it seems to be leaning more into the jazz rock here, which I'm really appreciating. It's making for a very somber but also very gripping and transportive opener. Yeah. That was incredible. From the string arrangement to the horns that were in there, the very, very subtle bass, the very light drum hits that go on throughout that track. It moves at such a slow pace, but it has just the right amount of interesting ideas being put into there to the point where it isn't boring and it actually feels more hypnotic and entrancing than anything. I think that was an incredible opener. I'm just a little caught off guard by how slow this is. I'm fine with it being as slow as it is, but I just wasn't expecting it, I suppose. Honestly, like a 9.5 on that opener. Hey, it's me from the future, in a different setup, temporarily. I'm not at home right now, but yeah, don't worry about it. This song only really grows on me with every re-listen, and I think I'd give it closer to about like a 9.8 by now. This is an absolutely amazing opener. That was amazing. Incredible tone setter. Next up, Ascension Day. Oh yeah, this seems to be... Yeah, this is leaning way more into the jazz rock. Ooh. This is more the sound I was expecting. They used to be a really popular synth pop band. Wait, really? They went from synth pop to post rock? Oh, it's this song. It's not the song I was thinking of, but yeah, I've heard this. They went from that to this post rock, jazz rock stuff. That's insane. What a switch. It worked for the best. I'm absolutely loving Laughing Stock up to this point. This is amazing.
Kill the bed out there on Judgment Day. Mother burns
They got in trouble with their record label because they wanted a more commercial album. This ended up being released on a jazz label instead, huh? Ooh. Man, shit is smooth as hell. I love that snare sound as well. Whoa. Okay. Okay. That song is more what I was expecting from the album. It was a lot more immediate than the first track. It had a lot more of the post-rocky elements that I was expecting from the album. It had a lot more of that gradual build that you expect from post-rock into the insane explosive moments, just building with minor incremental details being added until they all just layer on top of each other into these massive ginormous moments. I can't speak today. Yeah, that was amazing. That was actually amazing. That was exactly what I wanted from this album. And arguably more. That was basically 6 minutes of like the best post-rock you're gonna hear. I would give this like a high 9 to a 10. That there was not a second of that where I wasn't actually blown away by how perfectly crafted, well orchestrated, beautifully recorded, and surprisingly well written this is as well. I have not spoken about the vocals and the writing yet, but I think both of them are like S tier, and the space that the vocals are given and how sparse they are throughout the track make it even more impactful when they do show up. That was basically exactly what I wanted from this album. That was amazing. Next up, After the Flood. 9.5 minutes. Yeah, the way they've done that here with the drums has been, that was amazing. That little guitar in the left channel there, that's like, that little, when it came in there for just like those couple seconds, that was like everything to that moment. Oh, the dripping sounds. Been almost 8 minutes of this song. That's nuts. Appropriate fade out. This fade out makes sense here. I don't mind it. Especially if it's going to lead to a transition, which I'm assuming it's going to. Yeah. I don't think I paused, besides to, you know, mute this dumbass, once during that song. And that's bad reaction content right there. But I didn't want to interrupt the song. Wow. I am, like, floored. I don't even know what to say to that. That was... It was perfect. That song was perfect. Like, I give out a lot of 10 out of 10s, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the song is, like, a perfect 10 out of 10. It's just a 10 out of 10 on enjoyment. That was an actual perfect song. That is, yeah. I don't even know, like, the blending of the jazz rock and the post rock is flawless. the amount of space that is used here and the insane environment that an aesthetic that the album is able to build just through this looping instrumental that keeps being incrementally added onto is amazing. You're saying this is one of the first post-rock albums. I can easily see how this has influenced a Godspeed or a Swans just in not necessarily sound palette, but in the way that it builds. It reminds me so much of that because it is so incremental and so slow in the way that it builds, but it's so rewarding. That was 9.5 minutes of like the best post-rock ever. I have no complaints. I am blown away by this. This might be your favorite album of all time. Understandably so. That is 2 10s in a row. I went into this knowing I would probably like it, but man, this is going so far above my expectations to a degree that I could have never expected from anything. Next track, Taphead.
With will to wind and one to climb, and still to rise beyond the tide.
The way that crept in was perfect. That actually scared me, Jesus Christ. This whole video is just gonna be me sat here in silence with my eyes closed most of the time. Wow. No transition out of this one. Ends on silence. Oh my god, dude, this album's so good. I knew this was gonna be good, but man, this is yeah, this is blowing my expectations away. Firstly, the flow of this album has been amazing so far. It's been 4 songs. It's been what? It's been like 26 minutes of music so far. No, 29 minutes of... No, basically half an hour of music. And it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's been maybe 15 minutes of me listening to this album. It's nuts. This thing has flown by so far. Every song has been just so hypnotic. It's like... It's ridiculous. There is not a lot of music like this. Well, not a lot of music in this style that's able to be as effective as this. And that's why I appreciate it so much when it is. Because when it is this effective, it's like the best rock music imaginable. One thing I've not pointed out yet is the production. I think that the production is flawless. Like, the sound of this, it's so full and so spaced out, while still having a very raw and very natural sound, yeah. I am just impressed at how perfectly each element of this is coming together, how well this is able to flow, and just how much of a very distinct feeling this album is able to put across. It feels like going in and out of like being in a dream, and I feel like the cover here, if I switch scenes, the cover here sort of reflects that, in my opinion. Like, you see like this giant tree on top of the planet with all these giant birds on it, which firstly, this is a great cover. You have like the two little birds to show the scale of how massive this tree is. And it feels like just something that you'd see in a dream, and that's sort of what the album is meant to be like. Oh, whoops, wrong scene. It's stuff you see in a dream. This album, if these final 2 tracks keep up this same level of quality, this album might end up being a 10. And there's a part of me that doesn't want that, because I feel like I give out way too many 10s, you know what I'm saying? Sound like we were in Wind in the Willows? Yeah, feeling a 9.8 on that one. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just give this song a 10 on a first listen. It's obviously a 10. So good. Next track, longest song on the album. This song's 9 minutes and 46. Next track, Newgrass. Yeah, ambient can be post-rock influence. Because the big thing that makes post-rock what it is for me is the way that it incrementally builds. That's the thing I point out the most. It's just very subtle building that's like barely even noticeable. It's just little bits and pieces being added on. And I feel like a lot of the best ambient music has that, is when it just very subtly builds until it's like sort of this wall of a bunch of different stuff going on at once. And that's sort of also the downfall of post-rock, is that like that either works really well or it ends up being too cluttered and it ends up being too messy, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, ambient can definitely be post-rock influence. I feel like the two can have a lot of overlap, honestly. And another big thing with post-rock is it's a lot of repetition, and ambient obviously is a lot of the same stuff going on, just being slightly changed. So I feel like there's a decent bit of overlap with the two genres. Nice having that ticking sound in the right. What, is that just like a shaker or something? It sounds like a clock. I love when the album does that. Sometimes it will just drop everything out and then except the drums and then just bring in something completely new to go over it. New prog doesn't have flutes, which is a downgrade. The flutes, yeah. All of the flutes, all of like the woodwind stuff has been great so far. Wish you could live in this song. Yeah, again, the album does have such a strong aesthetic that matches perfectly with the cover. Like, I feel like the cover is exactly what I see with the music, you know what I'm saying? And I like when albums do that. I like when an album matches its cover. This album's had a lot of religious undertones. I'm interested to go back and look at the lyrics on repeated listens, because I was doing that a little bit at the beginning, but I've been so like locked in with the sound that I've not been paying attention to the lyrics as much. I say undertones. This song like is just openly referencing heaven and Christ. He mentions Christ multiple times. 7 sacraments to song as well. Is that an organ? Nice. There's no bass here. It makes this feel very open. It seems to be building to the, I'm guessing, what's going to be the introduction of the bass. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look further into the lyrics on repeated listens. Yeah. The drums stayed the same all the way throughout every song. I feel like the drums are the one thing that stayed the same throughout all these songs. And it's just where they are in the mix that's changed. They have been the one through line through all of these, or the one through line through each individual song. The song's almost, what? It's not been 9 minutes. I thought it was like halfway done, to be honest. What the hell? How was that nearly 10 minutes? That felt like it was maybe like 6 minutes max. That's the best song so far, easily. Firstly, easy 10. That's my favorite song so far. In terms of pacing, in terms of writing, this is the first song where I've like really started to see like the actual overall theme of the whole album. The vocal performance on this one is my favorite up to this point as well. And the way this one progresses is the most interesting out of all the songs so far. There are multiple points where everything drops out and something entirely new is brought in. It happens multiple times throughout this song, whereas I think it only happened like once on a couple of the other tracks on here. Yeah, this is, up to this point, the most fulfilling song, the most impactful song, the one I feel like I'm going to be returning to the most. And I feel like this is the one that's going to be the most memorable to me. This is actually perfect. No notes. Someone should try making a 10-minute pop song. That might be even harder than post-rock. I mean, post-rock is specifically designed to be a little bit longer, right? Like a 10-minute pop song. I'm trying to think. Doesn't Taylor Swift have that one 10-minute version of her song? And then all of the Taylor Swift fans were like, Taylor Swift is the only person that can make a 10-minute song, guys. Does that count? Frank Ocean has Pyramids. I've been sent in Pyramids on stream before, haven't I? I have, yes. Yeah, that song's very good. Alright, we're here. The final song. I can't believe we're already almost done with this album. This has flown by. Next track, track 6, final song, Runeii. Or Runeii? Yeah, Pyramids is great. Is this the shortest song on the album? It is. Interesting, ending on the shortest song. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do more Talk in the future. I know Spirit of Eden is their other, like, most acclaimed album. Similar album cover, too. With the birds on the tree. Oh, it's birds and sea life on the other tree. That's interesting. Man, wow. Yeah, that was Laughing Stock by Talk. That final song, incredible way to close this. I like that it ends the same way it begins, with a very, very slow song that's very spacey and very minimal instrumentation, just really the vocals and the guitar and a little bit of piano in there at certain points as well, I think. Yeah, you say that this is, you think this is a concept album, with the final song being like from God's perspective of the guy killing himself. That would make a lot of sense with the lyrics here. He's saying, like, he repeats the line, slow to bleed, fair son, twice. Well, aren't you success in answer select? Apologies met in effigy blessed. He talks about being effortlessly blessed as well further on in the song. Effortlessly blessed, sorry, not effortlessly. Effortlessly blessed. Yeah, a lot of these lines do seem to be pointing towards the perspective of God on something, which I think is an incredible way to wrap this album up. This is a good album. This is a very good album. Damn near perfect album, I would say. This final song, I would give a 9.72. That was a very, very incredibly damn near perfect way to finish this album off. This is one of the best post-rock albums I've heard. This is up there with a lot of my favorite post-rock, like Swans again and Godspeed and stuff like that. This was incredible. Actually, aesthetically, instrumentally, gorgeous. The blending of the post-rock with the jazz rock as well, I thought was actually flawless. I love the pace of this album and how much it takes its time to just slowly build to the most satisfying payoffs imaginable. And not only that, I feel like 6 songs is like the perfect length for this album. I'm glad it ended where it did, because I feel like if it had gone on any longer, I feel like it would have overstayed its welcome. I feel like the length of this thing is practically perfect. Let's add up the scores and figure out the big number. I'm predicting a 9.8 is my predicted score. I am feeling a 9.8 out of 10 on this album. Yeah, on re-listens, this thing has grown to be a 10. This is a literally perfect album. It's a very, 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 very good album. A damn near perfect album. Some of the best post-rock you are ever gonna hear. This thing is practically flawless. I am beyond impressed by this, and I feel like this may grow to a 10 on a repeated listen if I go back and pay closer attention to the lyrics, because if what you said is correct and this is actually a concept album, then I imagine going through and paying attention to that concept is only going to make this thing grow on me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. That was Talk by Laughing Stock. Let me know what you thought of this album down below in the comments. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you want me to listen to more Talk in the future? Like we're probably going to be doing Spirit of Eden as the next Talk album if I do end up returning to them. which I probably will, let's be honest. Let me know what other albums you want me to listen to down below as well. Make sure you like and subscribe and whatnot. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers now. Links in the description to my Discord and my album of the year and my second channel and my Twitter. Make sure you go to all of those if you haven't yet. Besides that, I think that is it for me. I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye bye.